Hi
Welcome.
everyone, welcome. We're just going to let everyone filter in through from the waiting room, which will take a couple of seconds, and then we'll get started. But thanks so much for being here. Awesome. That looks like everyone who was waiting before is online. So we'll kick things off. Hi everyone, welcome to November's episode of Heidi Rounds. It's been a busy couple of weeks at Heidi, and we're really excited to take you through all of the new features. So yeah, let's get started. For those of you who haven't met us before, my name's Ben. I'm an emergency doctor here in Melbourne by background and the clinical director for Australia and New Zealand. And Phoebe, I'll let you introduce yourself as well.
Hi, how you going? I'm Phoebe. I'm a registered nurse. I've got a background in ICU and neuro, and I'm now working alongside Ben at Heidi in the product and marketing space.
Awesome. So
Before
we'll
we
jump
move
in.
on, I can just see a few people raising their hand. I'll just remind everyone that we can't stop and answer a single question, so you can use the Q&A feature, and we'll try and get to your question as we go through.
Awesome. Thanks, Phoebe. Cool. In terms of the agenda today, it'll follow a pretty similar format to previous webinars. We'll give you a brief Heidi update, which we're really excited about. I'm sure many of you have noticed Heidi looks a little differently since October. We'll then go through our latest features. We'll talk through the events that we're attending, and we'll wrap things up. Cool. Okay, first things off, I just wanted to flag why Heidi looks a little bit differently these days. Um, we announced our Series B in early October, and we're really excited, not by the number of dollars that we raised, but by kind of the what it represents for us as a company. We've in 18 months returned 18 million hours back to frontline clinicians, which we're really, really proud about, but also feel it's really just the start. And we're only scratching the surface. And we're using the Series B as a bit of a turning point where we're transitioning from being a scribe focused on clinical documentation to an AI care partner focusing on helping you deliver care. So you'll see a nod to that in tonight's webinar. And over the coming months, you'll see us kind of helping you deliver care in more ways than just helping with your documentation. So we're getting asked a lot about what the money is going to be used for. Simply, it's going to be used to support our existing markets, to grow our footprint across Europe, Africa, and Asia, as well as working on some incredible new product features, which we'll be excited to share with you when and if they come up. So that's why Heidi looks a little bit different. We're really excited, and we hope you love the new brand as well. Cool. Let's jump into the feature part of the webinar, and we're going to start with Telehealth for Web. So, we heard from many users that it was challenging using Heidi's web browser for telehealth consultations. And when you're working in hospitals in particular, or for larger enterprises, you may not have had permission to download the Heidi desktop app, which caused a few issues for you. So we've created a new telehealth function for the web browser. This one starts with just Microsoft Edge and the Microsoft Suite, but don't fear if you don't use Microsoft Edge, there'll be an update coming for you soon. But I'll let you run through this, Phoebe, so that it makes a little bit more sense once you've seen it.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Ben. So I'll just flick my screen over to the the Heidi interface. As you can see, we've got just the normal UI. And what I'll do is I'll start a new session. And if you just pop over to the right-hand side as you normally would to start transcribing or dictating, and soon you'll see a little telehealth pop up in the selection. So if you just click on the telehealth option and you press start telehealth, a little pop-up box will appear, which will give you the instructions that you need. I just want to call out that Heidi will still pick up your sound and audio even when you're wearing headphones during your telehealth sessions. So if we just press continue, that next box that shows up shows you the tabs that you've got open in your current browser that Heidi is in. So, you just simply select a tab that you wish to use. This could be anything from a Zoom platform or Microsoft Teams or a bespoke telehealth web solution that you use in your clinic or hospital. For the purposes of the demonstration, I'm actually just going to select a doctor consultation on YouTube just to give you a really good idea about how the audio works. And you can see the quality and how Heidi picks that up. So I just select that tab for YouTube, select share. It'll flick over to the YouTube tab. I'll just play that so you can hear the doctor's consultation with the patient.
Working in the GP surgery. Is it okay if I just check your name and date of birth, please?
Yeah, so it's Camilla Weldon, and it's 3rd of May, 1977.
Nice to meet you. Is it okay if I call you Camilla today?
Yeah, of course.
Fabulous. So how can I help you today, Camilla?
Yeah, so the doctor I saw last week, he rang me yesterday to say that I had some blood tests, and he just said that the blood test said I had.
Okay, I'll pop back. So Heidi, I'll stop the telehealth session. I'll just write a note. But as you can see in the transcript tab, it's picked up that YouTube sound perfectly. You've got the transcript there, and then that demo note has picked up all of that work, all of the information in the transcript that's been recorded from the web. So as Ben said previously, a lot of people are having a bit of trouble with operating Heidi and their telehealth apps in the same browser. So this is a huge unlock for those clinics that do, use the web-based telehealth, and it just means you don't have to have the phone app and your desktop app open. It just keeps everything nice in a consolidated space. So
Awesome.
yeah, great win.
And before we move on, I'll just quickly answer Ernest's question about the feature not being live at the moment. So on his Heidi, so it's being released to free users last week. Our practice users should have it available today, this being the 17th, and for our enterprise users with a larger account, it'll be the week after on the 24th of November. So if it's not in your Heidi immediately right now, it will be by the end of next week. We're just gradually rolling it out. There's also going to be a recording of this session just for those writing in the comments. We always send out an email and there'll be a link to a YouTube recording for the session. So please don't fret or feel like you need to write any notes. So yeah, cool. Let's jump on to the next.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, we're going backwards.
sorry. Computer's having a...
Great. No, it's okay. Awesome. So the next feature we're uploading is one for our non-integrated users in particular. We've heard a lot that not being able to upload your sessions in the non-integrated version of Heidi before you go into clinic is a little bit annoying and potentially a bit of a pain point. So we've devised a way that allows you to upload your session lists into Heidi, and hopefully it'll mean that your clinics will now run a whole lot smoother, and you'll have less kind of setup work to do between sessions when you're trying to set up Heidi. So I think this one will make a little bit more sense once we've shown you. So Phoebes, might hand back over to you to show this one.
Yep. Okay. So back to my Heidi interface. And I'll just pop over to this tab here, which you'll see in your view sessions. You'll see an upcoming and a past. And what the upcoming tab is, for those of you who may not have noticed it before, it's a view of all of your future patient appointments. So it's a great way to get organized before your patients start flowing in and when you're in clinic. And so you can just sort of hit transcribe once your patient's sitting down. You don't need to spend that time entering in the patient detail if you've got that already preloaded up in your upcoming tab. So how it works is, I'll just show you quickly, just bear with me while I delete these sessions. But essentially what the feature allows you to do is upload a CSV file of all of your patients that are coming into clinic that day. So, or, you know, over the next couple of months, you can upload a total of 250 different sessions. So if you've got the ability to extract a CSV file with appointments over the next 4 months, you can upload the entire file. What's something that's quite easier for those of you who are in a bit of a hurry, you can just do a screenshot of your patient's schedule calendar and drag and drop it directly into this field. So I'll show you an example of what that might look like. So I've just got a really, here we go. Got a screen grab of my appointment day on the 19th of November, and you can see my patients are listed down between 9 and 5. I've also got lunch slotted in and picking the kids up at 5 to 6 p.m. But then I've got my 5 patients here. So I'll show you what happens if you just simply grab the file and my mouse and drop it into the upcoming appointments. And while that's being passed through, you'll see this little box will pop up. And what's happened there is Heidi's read the file, and then this is sort of giving you a chance to review all of that past data and validate that it's all correct, and it gives you a chance to remove duplicates. I'll also flag that Heidi is able to read that lunch break and picking the kids up from school, in fact, isn't a patient. So it's quite smart with the data that it ingests. So that was quite a clean shot of a calendar, but you can upload whole shots of a week. So long as the dates and the times are legible, Heidi will be able to read quite a range of data. So if I just click import sessions, then all of my patient sessions will be there in the upcoming tab. And as the 19th of November, 9 a.m. approaches, that Julie White appointment will automatically appear in my current session file. So I can just click open Julie's file and start transcribing the appointment.
Awesome. Thanks, Phoebe. I think we've skipped ahead one slide on this one. So
Yeah, sorry about that. There we go.
it's all good. Cool. So yeah, we hope that one saves you a whole lot of time before clinic and you enjoy it. It's been hotly requested. This one we're really excited about because we think it gives you a little bit of a taste and flavor of the direction we're heading in terms of becoming a bit more of an AI care partner and helping beyond just writing a note. You're now going to be able to generate tasks that are documents in one click using a taskbar. And this auto generation feature really kind of points to what we're kind of looking to do next, which is help you kind of after the consultation has finished and completing some of those tasks that you need to do for each patient. So without any further ado, I'll let Phoebe talk through this one. It'll make a little bit more sense once you see it, I'm sure.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Ben. All right, so back over to my Heidi interface, and I will just start a new session for this one. I won't do telehealth, I'll just do normal transcription. Actually, no, I won't. I'll upload a session audio. I'll spare everyone in the meeting having to hear me do a dummy patient consult, and I'll upload a pre-recording MP3 just for the sake of flow. All right, so while that's uploading, the scenario here is a GP and an elderly male during a consult where the male has I think his name's Frank, has presented with heart palpitations, shortness of breath and dizziness, and the doctor has suspected early onset AF. So just generate a basic GP note. And as that's generating, yeah, so as you can see, history of presenting complaint, heart fluttering, regular worsening orthopnea, and then you've got all of the examinations, suspected AF, and then the management plan here. So we're looking, he's got a referral letter to a cardiologist and a patient education sheet. So you can see there's two distinct documentation tasks that have been generated. And if we click over onto the right-hand side here, I've got my settings toggled on, so tasks will pop out automatically, but you can also just click tasks here to view the automatically generated tasks that Heidi will pull from your session. So if I scroll through my tasks and I can see my task that Heidi's prompted me to write a referral for a cardiologist for ongoing management. And you can see here that the task is actually categorized as a document. And for those tasks that are categorized as a document, you'll then see this little new icon that will pop up for these particular tasks. And if you can hover over it, it'll say generate document. And once I click it, Heidi will open a new tab for me in that session, and it will begin to write a referral letter for cardiologist for me. So there we go. I'm referring John Allen, newly diagnosed AF, and it's got all of that session information from my consultation. It's got my assessment, my medication plan and next steps, and my blood results. Again, as everyone knows, you can add even more context in and regenerate the letter if you want to add the blood test results that came back. But yeah, just really showing how this amazing new feature just lets you generate the documents with just one click. So not only is Heidi prompting you on what you need to do next, it's also doing it for you. So this usually would take, anywhere up to an hour at the end of the day. You can just do it in the middle of the session before the patient's even left the room. Yeah, so I think that's
awesome. I think it might just be worth flagging getting a few questions about each feature when they'll be rolled out. So you should see this auto tasks generation feature be live now in your ID taskbar. And if you don't see your taskbar, that can actually be adjusted in your settings. So if you don't have your taskbar pop up, that will be where to find it. And you can see in the bottom. Oh, thanks, Phoebe. You can show us now.
Oh, here we go. So if you pop down to defaults and automatically open side panel, you can just toggle tasks on. You can click it on and off. Do not open or
Tasks.
yeah.
Use tasks if you want to see that one. So yeah, that's where you find it. And for those of you asking about the bulk upload sessions, just to clarify, that one will be available in a gradual rollout by the end of next week. So some of you may see that already now. If you don't see it, don't panic. It will be rolled out over the next week. So it should be available to all of our users by next week. So bear with us while that happens. Cool.
Before we jump on, I just wanted to show everyone just to watch out for sometimes Heidi will categorize a task as communicate. And at the moment, if you want to be auto-generating, you'll just need to simply change that task to document, and then that little generate document toggle will show there. So you can then generate your patient one-pager. So yeah, that goes for anything. Anything you see in the task list that you just would love Heidi to auto-generate for you, just simply change it to document, and you can have Heidi auto-generate for you. Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks.
Next
The next
one.
one. Cool. This next one's becoming a bit of a familiar trend. First of all, we've got new billing codes that we've added to the coding suite, ICD-10-CM and CPT codes. So if you're in the United States, these two coding sets will be particularly relevant for you. But really just wanted to highlight that a few months ago, we started with just SNOMED and ICD-10 coding. And as you'll see, that coding set is growing. We'll give a very brief recap of where to find codes, but the main call out here really is continue to please request the coding sets that you use regularly. We using our user feedback and request volumes to kind of help us triage which coding sets we do first. So continue to send through your requests. The team's really appreciative of it helps us kind of plan and figure out what to do. But yeah, we'll quickly demo these ones.
Yeah, for those of you who missed out on the webinar last month or maybe newer to Heidi, I'll just quickly show you where you can access codes in your account so they automatically pop out and you can control what codes you're seeing. So if you go into settings and then scroll down here to coding, and I can see all the regional codes, but you should only see the codes that are relevant to the region that you're in. But yeah, as you can see, what you can do is just move through and toggle on and off for each of the codes that are relevant to you and your work. Obviously, if you toggle them all off, the codes won't be generated and they won't appear in that side panel. And then I'll just jump back to my last session with John, who has AF. And you can see here are the codes that have been generated based on that session and consultation information. So here are my CPT codes and here are my ICD-10-CM codes. And as we discussed, they're ordered by relevance. So the higher the relevance are at the top. And as you scroll down, it's medium and low relevance. And if you simply click on the code that is correct and relevant, you go back to the base note, so this clinical note here, scroll to the bottom, you'll see that they will have inserted themselves at the base of the note. And if you click, it'll tell you where in the transcript that code was pulled from. So you can see the evidence in where Heidi actually pulled that bit of information, and you can review and edit the code, and it'll take you back to the side panel and you can remove it or replace. So that's codes in a nutshell. As Ben said, keep requesting the codes that are relevant to you, and we'll be pushing a lot more out over the next couple of months.
Awesome. And last but not least, before we dive into a few of the questions that are coming through, so please keep them coming, is we've added our forms to the template community. For those of you who may not be familiar, we've got a form filling capability where if you set up a PDF form, Heidi can then complete that, including ticking boxes and doing everything for you. And we know that setting up that PDF in the right format can be a little bit challenging. And we've got many requests from our users to help them set up that form. So what we've decided to do to try and make that process a little bit easier is in every region that we're in, all of the common insurance forms, work cover forms, things like that, we've uploaded into the community for you, and we'll continue to do that. So if you don't see a form that you're using regularly, please let us know, and we can add that to the growing list of forms. But we hope that this will mean that you have to spend less time trying to figure out how to format a form, and you can just jump on the community and find those really common forms in whichever region that you're joining us from. So, Phoebe, I'll let you take it away.
Great, thanks, Ben. Okay, so first what I'll do is I'll show you where you can locate the community of templates. So this isn't just for forms, by the way. So template community also includes note and document templates. So you can access note and document templates all over the world. So they're uploaded by a mix of users, so GPs, anything from social workers to music therapists, nurses, and you can see how often a document's being used, so you can see how popular it is. And it's just a really great way to save yourself building your own templates, and you can dive straight into really high quality documentation in Heidi. But what I want to show you today is we now have this forms option. So as you can see, we've got users across the globe who have already started uploading some of their forms that they find really useful. But on top of that, the Heidi team, we've got a team of clinical doctors and nurses who work in our medical knowledge team, and they've been building out some of the most highly requested and most useful codes across regions. So as Ben said, insurance forms, clinical assessment forms, patient intake assessment forms, things like that. And if you look for the Heidi team, you'll know that it's been developed by a highly trained and validated medical knowledge person. So you'll know that it's a trusted form. So if you click on it, you can scroll through and see if the form is the one that you're in fact looking for, and then you just simply add it to your library. And what that does is it downloads the form from the community. And so we've got disability support pension advocacy form. If I jump back into my own personal library, so this is just all the templates that are only accessible to me, I will now see that disability support pension advocacy form has made it into my personal library. So that means that at the end of my consults, I can use this template form for my patients going forward. So Forms was first launched about 3 or 4 months ago. So I might just do a really quick reminder for everyone on how to actually use a form in a session. It's similar to how you create a document. So what you do is you just press the create button here or the little plus sign here. And you just access one of the forms that you know you've got in your template library. So for this patient, I might want to submit a Medicare claim. Medicare is an Australian insurance form. So if I just click that, that little PDF document tab will open up, and Heidi will start preparing my PDF form. Once that's prepared, it will automatically export itself into my downloads file on my local computer. Usually takes a little bit longer than a template, usually takes about 3 minutes, but yeah, there we go. As you can see, download renamed. So if I just go into my file downloads, I will show you the final output of that form. There it is, Medicare claim form. And as you can see, all of the boxes, and it's quite a complex formatting and layout, but Heidi was able to pull all that session information and populate my form for me. So I can tick that off, and there's no need to do that manual filling process, faxing, scanning, uploading, and using snail mail. It's all kind of done right in Heidi. So there we go.
Awesome. Thanks, Phoebe. I might get you to stay in your Heidi profile so we can run through a few things just to answer a lot of the questions that are coming through. So the first one was actually just about where you can change your different coding sets. We've got a couple of questions coming through asking that they're in different regions and can only see coding sets from other regions. So if we just jump into settings, and you'll see in the bottom left there, you can go down to coding. You'll see that the list of codes for each region are outlined, and you can toggle them on and off. So if you're, for instance, in the UK rather than the US, you might want to toggle on the SNOMED, ICD-10, and the OPC 410 UK, and you might want to toggle off those United States codes that Phoebe's got preset there. So for those of you wondering how you change those codes, that's how you do it, and you'll be able to continue to toggle on and off those codes when and where you need to. So hopefully that helps. And then you go, Phoebe.
Sorry, I was going to jump in.
Yeah, please.
While you were talking, I can see another question here. Where did Heidi get the patient's address for the form information? So I just want to reiterate with Heidi and how it works. Any information that you want to appear in any of the subsequent documentations or forms that you produce, you'll need to make sure that the information's in the context and transcript. So in the transcript, I actually got my patient to confirm his address at the beginning of the session. So that information was taken from the transcript and put straight into the Medicare claim form.
Yep. The other option for that is if you create a linked patient session and you're doing a lot of documents like referrals and notes for your patient, you can add in their address and date of birth into their patient profile as well, so that every time you write a letter or document, you've got it there for reference. So that hopefully will help.
Yeah.
Got a couple of questions about languages that Heidi supports. So we do support over 110 languages, so you're able to go into settings there and select different languages. You can also see within the session itself, there's a little toggle there. So you can scroll through the input language. You can choose up to 3 different languages, or use auto detect, where if you're speaking in a language that Heidi understands, it will auto detect that language. The output language is simply the language of your notes, so that you'll only be able to select one output language. If you need to generate notes in multiple languages, though, you can still do that. I'd suggest just creating your first note in your main language, and then asking Heidi to translate and create a note in another language at the end of that consultation. So hopefully that will help.
While we're here, we can just show you
Yeah.
how that works. So
Oh,
what
yeah.
I've done
Perfect.
is I'm in my session. I've already got my session's already been recorded in English, so that's grayed out and I can't change it. But for my output language, I might want to change that to something. I can change it to Czech. And then it's giving me the option to regenerate my notes in Czech, so I can continue. That toggle, sorry, I should have stayed there, but it gives you the option to regenerate notes that will then add a new tab, or it'll write over your current documentation in Czech. And as you can see, all of my GP note has now come out in Czech.
Really important just to flag that where Heidi's not a validated translation service, so please only do this for languages that you yourself are fluent in. But we're confident that for those of you who are multilingual, you'll be able to use this feature and really enjoy it. Going to jump into a couple of questions now on formatting. Couple of questions about is there a way to add a digital signature or form into the templates that we created? Unfortunately, we're not able to do that yet. This is a very hotly requested feature, so we know that it's something all of our users want. At the moment, it's just the body of the letter that we can produce and copy and paste across into your letterhead with your digital signature and things like that. We know that many of you users want us to incorporate this into our product suite, so it's coming. But for now, you'll just have to copy and paste the body of your letter. So sorry for the delay on that one, but we hope you'll forgive us. And
Got
I'm
another
just trying
one
to go through.
here.
Yeah, go for it, Phoebe.
Yeah, so from Rajesh, how can I have a template, for example, generate a clinical letter to a GP based on this encounter? So if you don't already have a template designed for that kind of thing, there's two ways you can go about this. One is you can, well, there's three ways actually. One is if it pops up in your taskbar, you can automatically generate it. But if you don't have your tasks turned on or it's not in your to-do list, you can just use the Ask Heidi down there and just simply ask Heidi, generate a clinical letter to the GP based on this encounter. And if you ask Heidi to do that, Heidi will then generate a letter for you based on this session information. And I'll just wait for Heidi to do that. And while Heidi's thinking, the other way you can do it is jumping back into the community. And you can set your filters and you can do a search for GP letters. And then you can download a tried and trusted GP letter template that someone else has used or one of the Heidi team members has. So there we go. So there's my letter. And what I can do is action, and I can add to it, replace the note, or I can create it in a new tab. So if I create it in a new tab, that letter will then pop up into its own little tab there. And then I can copy it, email it, print it, export it. So yeah, that's how you can generate your letter.
Awesome. Thanks, Phoebe. And I'm conscious. Sorry, I'm just getting through a few. Sorry, I've got a question regarding the browsers using for a user who uses a Mac. So just to clarify that the Telehealth for web browser is currently on the Microsoft suite, so Microsoft Edge. If you're using a Mac and you don't have Microsoft Edge, there'll be a Chrome update soon with a similar feature. But for now, we've just started with Edge. The rationale for that, just to give you a bit of context, is that we know that most hospitals operate off Microsoft software. So we thought this was the biggest user chunk first. We know we haven't meant to leave anyone else out who's not using Microsoft Edge. So there'll be an update coming for you soon. But yeah, just to clarify that first feature we demonstrated, the telehealth sessions, using the web browser will just be for Microsoft and Microsoft Edge at this point. So we'll let you know as soon as there's a Chrome update available too. Awesome. I think the only other questions we've got seem to be a little bit of support-based stuff, and I'm struggling to keep up with them all whilst also answering them live. So what I might do is we might wrap up the Q&A now, and we'll go through any questions that we've missed and get back to you via email. Thank you so much for everyone for those questions. It's super helpful and engaging to have so many of you join and ask live. We can see that we've got another 50 to answer or so. So we'll get to them as quickly as possible via email. So yeah, please bear with us. But thank you for being so engaged.
I might just
Before
jump in
we,
quickly.
oh yeah, go
A lot of the
please.
questions, as Ben said, that I'm seeing are based around Heidi's basic functionality. So if you jump into Heidi's YouTube channel and watch the September webinar, you'll see Ben and I go through, the entire workflow of Heidi. It's a bit of like a recount on all of Heidi's biggest features, and it will give you a really good comprehensive understanding on how to use Heidi and how to get the most out of Heidi's best features.
Yeah, that's a great shout. It's a really good shout. Cool. And we love to see all of our users in person. We can help answer your questions in real life, but also hear about all the features that you love using and the features that you want us to build. So for those for whichever region you're in, these are the conferences that we're heading to. It's a bit of a busy season here in Australia. But for those of you in the UK and the US, it's going to be a busier start of next year, having gone through the busy conference season. But please keep an eye out for the Heidi stalls if you'll be attending, and we'd love for you to come and chat.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks everyone so much for attending, and thanks Phoebe for your help demoing this evening. We're really grateful for so many of you who have attended live. As I said, there'll be a recording available up on YouTube in the next day, and we'll also get to all of those unanswered questions. But we hope this has been informative, and we'll see you in December for an end of year wrap.
Great. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.